So hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If this is the first time you're visiting my channel, my name is Trish and I am so glad that you are here. I upload videos on Sundays and I tend to focus on botanically driven skincare, although I do love beauty products in general, especially skincare that has active ingredients that targets well aging. I also love makeup, but I do love to do easy makeup looks that tend to be on the natural side. So if those are things that you are interested in as well, I do hope that you will consider subscribing. Today we are going to be talking about the Boxwalla Beauty Box for February. It contains 2 products that will pamper and protect your skin in the coming months. If you are in the Northern Hemisphere, then you know, of course, that it is the winter time, but these products are going to be beautiful no matter what the season is. And the theme of this box is the truth about gardens and dreams, and features the brand Verité, which is founded by Janine De Conti, who is a trained aromatherapist. It features 2 products in here, 2 full-size products, which are designed to pamper and protect your skin in these coming months, which here in the Northern Hemisphere is, of course, wintertime, but these are also beautiful for the summer as well. The cost of this box is $49.95 to subscribe to the box. If you're not familiar with the Boxwalla, it is a bi-monthly box, so you will get this box every other month, but the retail value of this box is $163. I don't have the breakdown of the individual products, but like I said, the combined value of both of these products is $163. So this is what the box looks like. This is what the products come in. These boxes are absolutely beautiful. I just spoke in depth about these boxes and how they are made in the video where I spoke about celebrating the 6th year anniversary for the Boxwalla. So if you are curious about how these boxes are made, I definitely recommend checking that out. I talk about the boxes at the top of the video. I will put it right up here. So definitely go check that out if you're not familiar with how these boxes are made, because there really is a beautiful backstory about how these boxes are made. So anyway, I do love these boxes. They're absolutely beautiful. The construction is incredible, very sturdy. So in and of themselves, these boxes are beautiful to have, aside from the beautiful products that do come inside of them. And then just real quick, this is what the presentation looks like. You will get a beautiful description card of the products, you know, the ingredients that are in the products and how to use them. Those of us who are ambassadors for Boxwalla didn't actually get the card inside, but you who subscribe to the Boxwalla will get that card inside when you get the box sent to you. And then let's just go ahead and dive right into the first product. I am going to start by talking about the Goodnight Recovery and Repair Overnight Mask, which is a product I have actually really fallen in love with. So this is described as a sleep mask with a jelly-like texture that is supposed to be hydrating, soothing, and protective. And when you use it overnight, you are supposed to wake up with a smooth, glowy skin in the morning. This is what the product looks like in the jar. You can see that I have used it several times now, and you will see here that it truly does have a jelly-like texture. Kind of comes out in a clump out of the jar, and then of course just smooths right onto the skin and feels very smooth and gel-like as you rub it onto your skin. And then as it dries down on the skin, it does have a little bit of that tacky type of texture. And I will go into the ingredients right now so we can talk about why that might be. So let's go ahead and talk about that. This overnight mask is made in a base of New Zealand spring water and damask rose hydrosol. And I don't think I mentioned that this is a New Zealand-based company. There's also rooibos extract, manuka honey, and this manuka honey is sourced from a local farm in Matakana, New Zealand, and it comes directly from the beekeeper who only has a small number of hives. So these bees are very well cared for. There's also glycerin in here. There's also quandong fruit, and I had to look up quandong fruit. This is an indigenous plant, an indigenous fruit to Australia that is very high in vitamin C. There's also cockadoo plum in here, which is also an Australian plant that is high in vitamin C. There's marshmallow extract, which is a very soothing and calming extract for the skin. And then there's also, I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly, but there's Pohutukawa bark extract. And Pohutukawa is an evergreen plant that is native to New Zealand. The tree flowers from November to January. It has bright crimson flowers, so it's also called the New Zealand Christmas tree. In traditional Maori herbal medicine, the Pohutukawa tree has been used topically to treat wounds and abrasions because apparently the bark of this tree has ellagic acid, another word I don't know if I'm saying correctly, but ellagic acid is a potent antioxidant and also has anti-inflammatory properties, so it's soothing, calming, and healing. There's also hyaluronic acid in here, Centella asiatica, and olive squalene. So the reason why I think that this maybe has a little bit of that tacky texture could possibly be from the hyaluronic acid, because as some of you might be familiar with hyaluronic acid, sometimes products with that ingredient in it can kind of cause a little bit of that tackiness. So let's go ahead and dive into my experience with this product, which so far has been very, very positive. I have used it as directed as an overnight mask so far. I have used it for 3 nights, and I have actually been kind of surprised with my positive experience with this product, because typically I like to use, oils and balms and creams at nighttime before I go to bed. But I want to talk about how I've been utilizing those particular products before I actually dive into this product. And I want to talk about my experience with those products in kind of a negative light, because one thing that happens with those products, and I don't know if I've mentioned this very much, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this as well, is when you put those products on your face right before you go to bed, they do have the tendency to rub off onto your pillow, especially oils and very loose balms, kind of those juicy balms do have a tendency to rub off onto your pillow. And as I've mentioned many times on my channel, I tend to like creams that are very emollient, and those types of creams will also have a tendency to rub off onto my pillow. So because of that, what I tend to do is I do my skincare routine earlier in the evening. So that way, all of my balms or oils, creams, whatever I have used have soaked into my skin and will have less of a tendency to rub off onto my pillow. But that means I need to do my skincare routine usually around 6 or 7 p.m. That doesn't tend to be too big of a deal for me. I tend to like to do my skincare and then I cook dinner, so I'm kind of in a ritual around that whole process. But more than every once in a while, I do my skincare routine late at night, and then I do have my balms or creams on my face, and then I feel like they are rubbing off onto my pillowcase. So the reason why all of that is relevant in terms of this review is because I did not have that experience with the Verité overnight sleeping mask. This did not rub off at all, and the reason why is because of that kind of tacky texture, which was not unpleasant. And I know that the word tacky has a little bit of a negative connotation. It was not negative at all. It did not feel strange or unpleasant at all. It's just that it had a little bit of that kind of like matte, slightly tacky texture, which did not rub off on my pillow at all. Be a little bit of that concern of, well, did it feel moisturizing at all, which was definitely a concern for me too, but it did feel very nourishing on my skin, so that didn't end up being a concern at all for me either. So it turns out that I really did enjoy using this, and the added benefit of it not rubbing off onto my pillowcase at night was huge, and I really do appreciate it a lot. And when I woke up in the morning, I could still feel it on my skin. So I was able to use it in a couple of different ways. The first night I used it as kind of locking in my skincare. So not only did I use my serums, like my toner, and then my serums, of course, after I cleanse my skin, but I did actually use a cream, and then I used this on top, and I feel like it just kind of locked everything in. And then how I used it, I can't remember how I used it the second time that I used it. I think I probably used it in the same way. And then last night I used it on top of one of my favorite duos that I love to use for a glowy complexion in the morning, and that is the Josh Rosebrook Daily Acid Toner, and then the Lil Fox Dewy Bean Dream. When I use those two together, I then typically put a emollient cream on top or a balm. I did not use any kind of a cream or balm on top. I only used the Verité Goodnight sleep mask on top of that last night. And then when I woke up this morning, I could still feel that texture of the sleep mask on top, the Verité sleep mask, and it had a nice glow to it. I just felt like my skin looked very vibrant and healthy. So I can't speak yet to, over the long term, how this is going to be affecting my skin, but in the short term, I definitely have really been enjoying this product. I really love the ingredients. I think Manuka honey is a beautiful ingredient in so many ways for your skin. As I mentioned, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, beautiful humectant for your skin. It's going to help moisturize your skin as well. I always love to see marshmallow extract in products. I really love the Kakadu plum in here. I'm excited to see this Kwandong fruit, which is also high in the vitamin C. The Pohutukawa, again, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. That too sounds like a beautiful ingredient to have in a product with its anti-inflammatory and soothing and calming and healing properties. Centella asiatica, that too is also another beautiful anti-inflammatory ingredient as well. So the botanicals in here are beautiful. I think the texture is really unique in terms of a sleeping mask. It is not what I expected at all. When I opened it up and saw that kind of jelly texture, I was just like, wait, what? I thought this was going to be a cream. So I love it when you're kind of taken by surprise by a product and then it ends up performing really well. I don't think you have to use this solely as a sleeping mask. I definitely think that I can use this as a mask. Obviously, any time of the day, as my favorite thing to do is do the bath and mask. So I definitely see myself using it during my relaxing bath time. I also could see myself using it as a flash mask in the shower or in the morning when I do wake up and I feel like my skin is kind of parched or dehydrated. I could definitely see myself putting this on my face in the morning because, as I have mentioned a couple times now, I am definitely moving away from super active masks. So this mask is just right on time in terms of what I am wanting from my masks. And I love experiencing a different texture on my face overnight that kind of locks in those serums that you guys know that I love. So yeah, overall, this product is a huge hit, and I'm really thankful to the Boxwalla for introducing me to this brand and this product. Now it's time to move on to the Japanese Lemon, Vanilla, and Jasmine Hand Cream. And I do just want to take a moment to just show you how beautiful this box in particular is. I love this kind of pale gray lavender color with the gold lettering. I feel like it's just really beautiful. And the tube is gorgeous as well. And this luxurious hand cream is one of the most recent releases from Verité, and it too is made in a base of New Zealand spring water and damask rose hydrosol. It contains rejuvenating, antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory plant oils and butters. The ingredient list includes New Zealand flax, which is rich in essential fatty acids to repair skin cells. There's comfrey in here, which is anti-inflammatory. There's hemp oil, which is high in omega-3 fatty acids. Baobab oil, which is really good for skin elasticity. There's meadow foam oil, which is moisturizing and rejuvenating. There's hyaluronic acid in here as well, which, as we've talked about, is very hydrating. It's also going to soften your skin. There's also shea butter in here. Founder Janin describes this cream as wonderfully protective, hydrating, and is going to help maintain the skin barrier function and protect it from external factors such as pollution and adverse weather conditions. She was inspired to create this cream for a good friend of hers who is a nurse, so she of course is washing her hands constantly at work. So it was definitely made for those of us who are washing our hands all the time, which is pretty much everybody. And the scent in here is jasmine, vanilla, patchouli, and yuzu. Now I absolutely love yuzu, I love vanilla, and I do love jasmine. The jasmine in here is jasmine grandiflorum, which definitely is not my favorite jasmine, but I do tend to like it in skincare. I don't tend to like patchouli though when it comes to skincare on my face or on my body. So for me, unfortunately, the patchouli is a little bit of a deal breaker. For those of you who do like patchouli though, I highly recommend this because overall, this product is so beautiful. The texture on the skin is absolutely luscious and divine. I am actually kind of bummed that there is patchouli in here because the jasmine, vanilla and yuzu combination is completely up my alley. And when I first opened up this box and saw that there was jasmine, vanilla, and yuzu, which is printed on the box, I was so excited because it was basically like my dream come true when it would come to a hand cream. But then when I put it on my skin and I smelled it, I first smelled the yuzu and the jasmine, but then I could tell there was something else going on. And then I was like, oh man, I think there's patchouli. And then I read more about it and I was like, yeah, there's definitely patchouli in here, which unfortunately, like I said, is a bit of a deal breaker for me. But for those of you who do love patchouli, I would say that this hand cream is a definite must for you to get because it is so gorgeous. I will also say for those of you who do not like patchouli, if you're in my camp and you don't really love patchouli in your body care products or just in general, I mean, I do actually like, sometimes I do like patchouli in perfumes when it's kind of that vintage patchouli and it's kind of just like foundational to a perfume and it just sort of is there to give a perfume a really nice body, then I do like patchouli sometimes in perfume. I don't tend to like it in skincare or body care, but anyway, that's a little bit of an aside. But for those of you who don't typically like patchouli, you know, in your body lotions or body creams, I don't think this box is a deal breaker because I think that this overnight mask is so beautiful. I do still think it's worth it to get the box just for this mask because the price of $49.95 for this mask I do think is a very good value, and especially it being a New Zealand product, it's probably very hard to get, especially if you're in the United States. So if you're wanting to try Verité and you're interested in this overnight mask, then I do think it's worth it to get this box simply for this mask. So if you do like patchouli and that is not a deal breaker for you, then you will absolutely adore this hand cream. It's gorgeous. And as I keep saying, if patchouli isn't your favorite, then I still do think this box is worth getting simply for this mask, and then you could gift this hand cream to somebody that you know is a patchouli fan. So those are my thoughts overall for the Boxwalla Beauty Box featuring Verité. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope that you did enjoy this video. As always, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. You know how much I appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.